Well, hello everyone to an oh so curious times DCU Daily times MCU Weekly. We have so much news for you. We got Captain America 4, Thunderbolts, Avengers Doomsday. We got, tons of new movies coming out. We got, Bill Murray, Ben Stiller, Ariana Grande, a lot of quick hits, and then, getting into a lot of DCU Daily. And, we're going to have some reviews for Love Hurts and Hard Eyes, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And then we're previewing for next week for all the things, but we're going to have all that and more. So let's get into the show. All right, so I am joined by one other person today. It's not Dan, unfortunately, but it is Liz. Hi, Liz. How are you doing today?
Hey, gang. I'm well. How are you, John? Happy to be here.
I'm doing, I'm doing well. I just had dinner, so that's fun, but
Nice.
I'm nice and full and I'm ready to talk about all sorts of news related things. So, let's get into the news before I filibuster too long and this
Let's do
becomes a
it.
4-hour show.
It doesn't seem to matter what I do. I'm always number two.
All right, Mr. I need to paint my abs on to get nominated. You don't see Robert Downey doing that.
You're kidding.
Robert
You're
Downey.
kidding. I can't open the envelope without the.
Warner Brothers is heading back into the Matrix with a new movie in the works.
Wonder what other surprises are in store.
I want to be Bruce Wayne. I like that. You're gonna love me.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see chords.
Right there.
You look ridiculous.
Well, not no more, he don't.
What, dude? I can barely understand you. Your accent's insane.
What the?
Give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much. Oh, wow. Wow.
All right, so we got news time. First, getting into a little bit of MCU stuff, so that's great. Apparently, we've been talking about domestic stuff, but now we're going into worldwide stuff. Captain America: Brave New World apparently will be hopefully opening its doors with $190 million worldwide for a box office preview. So, I mean, with the only other thing that's majorly like coming out that weekend is Paddington in Peru. Not really,
Which is gonna kill it.
which is gonna kill it, but like,
It's gonna kill it.
So, we've been getting as it shows right here, the domestic opening is allegedly going to be like 80 to 95 million, and then we're going to get a global thing of almost $200 million. Now, considering that, according to accurate reports, I think having $190 million, that would make its entire budget back outside of marketing, that is. So I think that's pretty good for Captain America: Brave New World, even though, it might not be looking like the greatest thing ever. From according to people on Twitter, it's saying it's good, not great, but it's something, and I guess that's the best we can hope for with modern Marvel. But does that make you excited that like, oh, this will actually be a hit, unlike what we've been hearing for the past like year and a half about this movie, that it's going to be nothing but failures?
It's not a surprising number. Again, Marvel brings butts to seats regardless of whether or not the film is even good. So no, I mean, like I said, I was talking to you guys offline, and so many people at my movie theater were saying every single time a customer walks by a Captain America poster, they make a comment. So there's definitely buzz about it. So it doesn't surprise me that that number is pretty much what we were kind of expecting. But hopefully it's decent. It's worthy of our time. I'll be there on Saturday. I've already got my ticket, so here's
I'll
hoping.
I'll
But
be seeing Paddington. I gotta
yeah,
watch the
I'll be seeing
first.
Paddington as well.
I'll watch the first two movies sometime this week before I head over there. But I've been meaning to watch them for a while now, so I'll definitely be,
Oh, they're delightful.
yeah. I've heard nothing but great things, and very, very exciting. But speaking of Marvel, we have our next story is about a different Avenger, which is Paul Rudd in the A24 film. I believe, in addition to Death of a Unicorn, which is also A24, I believe he's going to be in a film with famous comedian Tim Robinson. Thoughts on the trailer? I think this looks relatively interesting. Did this?
Yeah,
Your,
it's yeah, it's definitely interesting, and it uh not to get political or to make fun of the male species in general, but it's definitely something that I feel is kind of relevant today, especially, we have this epidemic of loneliness going on. So this trailer looks really interesting. This movie looks pretty I don't want to say funny necessarily, but there's definitely some extra stuff going on there. I don't know how to put
yeah,
into
it
words.
definitely feels like the vibe I'm getting is like the Cable Guy meets I Love You Man, which also featured Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like a darker, edgier A24 version of those two movies. But
Yeah.
yeah, it definitely looks interesting. I haven't watched a lot. The thing is, the only thing I know of Tim Robinson is like him being a meme. Essentially, like I haven't watched like the Tim Robinson show or anything like that. I know
Yeah.
of him and I know his style of comedy, but I like that, so I just haven't had the anything to like just sit down and like watch any of his stuff. I've seen like some clips and a sketch here and there, but nothing like too major. But
Yeah,
I think
this is exciting for him. I think this is his first
yeah,
like seriously major role. He's been in a little side things, he's been in like commercials and things like that, but this is going to be pretty interesting.
yeah, I think this definitely looks like a definitely intriguing movie. It looks different, looks not necessarily the most original thing ever, but I think it's more original than Captain America 4. I will say that. So I guess that's something. But yeah, it definitely looks like an exciting thing for like more, for the people that like the more underground indie stuff. But
Yeah.
going back to Marvel, on the Marvel train, kind of, we have Avengers Doomsday, and apparently it's going to be filming in March, according to the Wrap. Now, I believe that's in line with what we've been hearing so far. Because I remember us talking about this like a couple weeks ago, where it was rumored like, oh, they have until March to finish the script because that's when they start
Right.
filming.
Yeah, that was like the
So
hard deadline, yeah.
yeah, so I mean, I feel like this just seems to match up with what we have so far. So yeah, thoughts?
I mean, it's nice that they're on time, and nice that they're sticking with their original timeline. That's always a good sign. Hopefully they don't need to do a bunch of reshoots towards the end, but yeah, hooray.
Very cool. I don't know how much of a news story this could be, but apparently this is definitely cool. For anyone excited for the next Avengers movie, things are happening. So yeah. But speaking of Disney, going into more general Disney stuff, apparently Disney is making changes to its diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts, aka DEI. The studio is closing down the Reimagined Tomorrow initiative that helped highlight stories and talent from underrepresented communities. The studio is also removing the content advisory disclaimers that appears on certain projects on Disney Plus, like Peter Pan and Dumbo, to the details section. What are your thoughts about this, Liz? Because I feel like you have a lot to say about this.
I have plenty to say, but we try really hard not to get political here on this show. All I can really say is it's not a surprise in the slightest. It seems as though
Nope.
every major corporation is falling into lockstep with the government, because heaven forbid we make any waves or take a stand on anything. It seems as though in America, the only companies that we can trust are Costco and Arizona Iced Tea at this point. I don't know of any other companies that are, that have a backbone and that are actually sticking. Because to me, I look at it, I'm a private company and I'm looking at it as like, why would I change my own policies based on like the government has nothing to do. But at the end of the day, if they want certain things funded, if they want certain things to, it's a whole thing. But unfortunately, this is the world that we're going to be living in for at the very least the next 4 years. And it's a real shame, I think,
Yeah.
because I don't think there's anything wrong with disclaimers prior to a project. I
No,
mean,
I don't think so.
what are they going to get rid of all the movie ratings next? I feel like that's where we're headed. So okay,
To be
so
fair, I think they should get. To be fair, I think movie ratings are a bit of a dated concept, but that's just me. But yeah, it's just like it just goes to show that they never gave a shit. They don't. They
right.
never gave
Well,
a
and
shit.
yes, and you know what? That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Once I see companies do something like this, I'm like, oh, there's your true colors. There's who you really are.
Yeah, no,
Because
because that's
they
what it
know
is.
now that I can get away with it, I'm going to be the lowest of the low, the scums of the earth.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
exactly. That's essentially what it is. Like, I mean, a lot of people already knew this. Like, having cutting out certain things for certain territories and like, cutting certain things that can so it can be shown in Saudi Arabia or China. Like, oh, we got to cut out the gay kiss. We got to cut out this character so it doesn't piss these people off and all that. So that was like obvious, but now this is like a very like, a very like this is like pure
it's just blatant.
unadulterated
Yeah.
obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we're in this timeline now. We're going ahead with this, and it just goes to show that they never actually
Yeah. Well,
cared.
and I've been saying this entire time, again, not to get exceptionally political, but I've been saying it this entire time, watching these billionaires, licking the boots of our president, and it's like, you have more money than God. Like, what does this person hold against you and hold over your head that you need to be kowtowing to him? And you like, because it was the same thing I felt when Facebook did that. That like literally like the next day, Facebook was like, "Oh, we're done with DEI," and it's like, but you guys, you technically don't need to answer to these people. You technically don't need to, worry about, like, you have all this money, you have all this power, you can do all these things, but apparently they still feel that they need the government's backing for certain things. So this is what they're going to do, and it's a real shame.
Yeah. It's just weird. It's just awkward. But this is definitely the clear cut of like, yeah, these people
Yeah.
never
Well, and
actually
it's a
cared.
turnoff. It's
And
a
all the
turnoff
people
for
that like all the fans that are like, oh yeah, they actually care. It's like they never cared. Like,
no.
don't
Like
act. And
clearly,
now the
clearly.
entire other side is gonna be like, oh, now we're gonna suck the toes of Disney and all these people now that they're agreeing with the people they agree with. So it's like
Yeah. It's
it's
gonna be
funny. It's just
it's only the
like
first month, gang. It's only the first month, so it's just gonna
I
get
just have to
worse from
morbidly
here.
laugh at all this because
Yeah.
that's the only way I could survive. But let's not
Yeah.
harp on this like fucking terrible shit.
It's
Let's
all
move
right.
on to the next
We're
thing.
just gonna start having movies and TV shows full of Brads, Dads, and Chads, and because everybody loves a story from the white man's perspective. Great.
Anyway, first look at the theater standee for the Thunderbolts, which
Cute.
is fun. Look at this non-political stuff. I like the calorie count. It's
Yeah.
125,000 calories. That's like my average every day. Just kidding. But some ingredients may not mix together. Like, it's definitely like this is literally the poster for the fucking for David Ayer's Suicide Squad. It's literally them looking up at they're not even trying to hide it. It's like, yep, this is our Suicide Squad. This is what we're doing now. It's like, y'all aren't even being fucking subtle. Like, come on, guys.
I mean, it's cute though.
Yeah,
I like it.
mean, it's cute, but it's just like, yeah. I I admire the effort, but this doesn't work with the other marketing they were pushing. I couldn't like all these, the Wheaties box and all that, and
Yeah.
then Wyatt Russell on John Walker's new look in Thunderbolts. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it looked very cool. This time they made my helmet not look like the end of a penis.
Yeah, no, he looked awful the first time. It didn't even like, you couldn't even tell it was him the first time around.
Well, I think that was
horrific.
kind of the point, is like he doesn't actually fit in as Captain America, so they gave him a helmet that doesn't fit. So like that was kind of the point. And it was like he was supposed to look like Red Skull. That was like what they insinuated, like, oh, with the masking and all that, which doesn't work because John Walker ended up being like the most likable and interesting character from that show. So whoopsie daisies. And then so the Thunderbolts, given the asterisk, they've revealed apparently a new Thunderbolts poster has revealed the meaning of the title's asterisk for the first time. And it's because it's the 6 of them. But that's, if you look at the asterisk,
what it says in the middle.
Not superhero, not super, not heroes, not giving up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, the trailer makes it seem like it's because the name is pending, because none of them can agree to call themselves the Thunderbolts as a collective. So that's what I get from the asterisk. I don't know why people are looking so deep into it, but I guess Kevin Feige had made some comments about the asterisk meaning something, having deeper meaning later on in the film. So
yeah, something like, oh, it's going to be a spoiler. We can't reveal that. And it's funny. It's like, oh, this is what it means because there's 6 of them, and it looks like an asterisk. It's like, even though if you look at the asterisk right here, there's 5 points on this one right here. So, oh well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if I cared, I would, I would be like, this is cool.
Yeah, again, it's just something for people to obsess over for no reason. Get a life, gang.
And apparently, we get a little bit more from Sentry and the Void, which is his like. Yeah, the Void is definitely like a hard thing to like describe. I know a little bit about it, but like the Void is kind of like his alternate, like it's kind of like a schizophrenic DID kind of thing where it's like his alternate personality, but it's like at the same time it's also like another dimension. It's very weird. I can't like describe it. Because I was researching it for something else, and I'm like, I don't get this, but I think I get it. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, so good old Bob, Lewis Pullman definitely, acting all crazy for whatever reason, and I'm very curious how they're gonna try and make Sentry work. So cool.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yay.
Do you know anything about Sentry or no?
Not really.
Cool.
I'm just excited. I'm looking
there he
forward
is.
to it.
There he is. Good old Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Hopefully this is a bigger hit than Salem's Lot, which apparently was really bad. I was gonna watch it, but then all my friends were like, no, it's dog shit. So I'm like,
that's a shame.
Okay. Sorry to hear that. But I mean, even then, like the Thunderbolts is, even though it's essentially just Marvel's Suicide Squad, and as I said, they're not even trying to be subtle about it. I think definitely, I will say it looks better than Captain America 4.
Yep.
Again, that's not saying much, but I don't know. Like, it looks cool, and I know a lot of people are excited for it, so great for them. But I'm just like kind of about it. I mean, I'm never gonna see any of these movies, so. But the only one I care about, the only one I actually care about is Fantastic Four. So. There we are.
Okay.
But
take what I can get, John.
But with that, we're gonna move into the next part of our little bit. We're gonna get into quick hits.
Yay!
There it is. I want to put on the music first so y'all can get excited. But first things first is Jean-Cole Sarah to direct survival thriller Play Dead as Carry-On follow-up, which is weird because it's not, well, I mean, I guess it's a follow-up in terms of the same genre, but he has another movie coming out this year called Woman in the Yard, which is a Blumhouse movie, so
Okay.
It's not really
yes,
the next.
I've seen that trailer. Yep.
It's not his next movie after Carry On, but it's like the next action movie he's doing after Carry On.
Yeah.
But thoughts?
I still haven't seen Carry On. It's on the list. One of these days I'll get to it. I've heard it's good. Good for this guy. Hooray.
Yeah, I liked The Shallows, and I think he did Nonstop or Run All Night, one of those Liam Neeson action movies. They're good. He's a good director, not amazing.
I mean, I saw the trailer for The Woman in the Yard. It's a pass for me. I will not be seeing that. But
I'm not going to be seeing it either. It just looks
good
like
for this guy.
Generic Blumhouse crap, but like,
I like Blumhouse.
But yeah, good for Jean-Collet Sarah. Next up, Alamo Drafthouse locations threaten strike over layoffs. Apparently, staffers at a unionized theater in Colorado have joined their New York colleagues in protesting cuts at the Sony-owned theater chain. Thoughts?
Again, not a surprise. We're going to be seeing a lot of crap like this for the next 4 years. Hopefully, they get what they want. Good for them for striking. I've heard Draft House is amazing. I've always wanted to go. I just haven't been to one yet. So good luck to the staff. That's all I can say. Times are tough, baby. Times are tough.
Although Caleb agreeing with me that not agreeing with me, but reaffirming what I said before with Salem's Lot is shite. Yeah. Thank you for that. Next up, we have Bill Murray and Naomi Watts bond over a Great Dane in the Friend trailer. So first we had Friendship, now we have The Friend. Apparently, Scott McGee and David Siegel directed the adaptation of the Sigrid Nunez novel of the same name. Thoughts?
It's a dog movie. It'll bring people. It'll be a cute little date night thing, but the pacing looks kind of slow. I'll see it, but okay.
Never even heard of this until now. So, cool. So the first look at the movie logo for Mortal Kombat 2 has been revealed. Thoughts? Gonna go see this one or no?
Yeah, I liked the last one. I'm hoping we get some of the same cast back, but it's been a while. We'll see what happens.
I was gonna watch the first one, then all my friends said it was dog shit and that Cole Young was the most cancerous protagonist in like ever. So I'm like, okay, I guess I won't watch this then. So
I mean, it was mid. I didn't hate it, but it was mid.
I would say when in doubt, go. I mean, it's probably gonna be better than Mortal Kombat Annihilation in terms of Mortal Kombat sequels, but in terms of the OG, I guess just watch the Paul W.S. Anderson version. But speaking of Wes, oh, fuck you, Variety. Get out of here. So Wes Anderson's next film, there we go. The Phoenician Scheme, sounds like a Big Bang Theory episode, gets May release date, focused features to distribute. Thoughts? Wes Anderson fan or no?
I love Wes Anderson. He's one of my top 5 favorite directors. I love everything that he does. I still haven't seen everything that he does, but for the most part, I try to catch whatever he's got going on, so I'm looking forward to it. Also
fair, enterprising. I'm seeing it for Carl Urban as Johnny Cage. Fair. And Kyle Keiswetter says that Mortal Kombat should be a TV series. I've seen a couple Wes Anderson movies. I really liked Grand Budapest Hotel. Yeah, I thought that was really good. I thought Royal Tenenbaums was pretty good. Rushmore, I did not care for, and I didn't care for Fantastic Mr. Fox. So he's kind of hit and miss for me. But
Moonrise Kingdom is still one of my favorites of all time.
I haven't seen that one. I've only seen those 4.
And Asteroid City was brilliant.
Yeah, I know that was like a love it or hate it affair, because like even Wes Anderson fans were like, all right, this is a bit much even for us. So but yeah, cool. Wes Anderson fans get pumped. But apparently going to more, non-indie affair, we're going with, we got a clip for Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and he's facing off against Shadowland looking Charlie Cox's Daredevil. Thoughts?
Great. Good for Charlie, good for Spider-Man. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, not necessarily fantastic. That's for the 4. Fantastic 4. Anyway, okay. But moving on. Marcia Gay Harden joins Apple TV Plus series Margot's Got Money Troubles. Thoughts?
I love Marcia Gay Harden, so cool.
Cool. Anyway, Ariana Grande has been offered a role in a Spaceballs sequel. Josh Gad is currently set to star in the film with Mel Brooks producing. Thoughts?
Also cool. I'll see it. Hopefully it's good.
Probably won't be, because they
Yeah.
probably can't get away with 90% of the jokes that were in the original movie. So
Well, I don't know. Nowadays, we don't care about feelings, so we'll see what happens.
So we'll see. Like Josh Gad and Ariana Grande in Spaceballs 2. Not the sentence I thought I would see today. And I don't get Mel Brooks' obsession with Josh Gad. Like, he was in History of the World Part 2. He's gonna be in this. Like,
Yeah,
why do people like Josh Gad? I don't get it.
he's a
Anyway.
theater guy. I don't know.
Fuck if I know. Zendaya is reportedly in talks to play Shrek's daughter in Shrek 5. Thoughts?
Okay, good for her.
Cool, I guess. I don't take this seriously at all, and I don't think Zendaya is going to be doing a Shrek sequel, but we'll see. Like, going from Challengers and Dune Part 2 to
Yeah.
Shrek. But hey, get that
Well,
money,
and
girl.
Euphoria season 4 is finally coming out
3.
pretty soon. So, no, 4. They just
Is it?
announced 4. Yeah.
Oh, they announced 3 and 4. Okay. Interesting. Cool. But apparently Captain America Brave New World director Julius Ona, I think his name is, teases the future of Adamantium in the MCU. Adamantium, as we know, will eventually be part of Project X. It'll eventually be a part of the story of Wolverine. Yeah, no fucking shit, dude. Anybody with half a brain cell could figure that out once Adamantium was name dropped in the trailer. Like, we're not fucking stupid. We know what Adamantium is.
Yeah.
This is just stating the obvious. We know that the X-Men are going to be part of it, whether they reboot the universe or not. We know X-Men is going to be a part of this shit. They own them now. I mean, Wolverine was already a part of Deadpool and Wolverine and Gambit and all that shit. So, like, yep, just pointing out the obvious, my guy.
Yep.
Cool. Anyway, so continuing on with Captain America news. Anthony Mackie on Captain America facing off against a possible evil variant of Chris Evans, Steve Rogers, even though this was pretty much debunked because Chris Evans said, no, I haven't gotten a call, and no, I'm retired. So, hell nah. There's a certain understanding between the two characters that it'll be like De Niro and Pacino and Heat. All right, don't take Michael Mann's name out of your fucking mouth. That's it. What I would be most excited about is the idea of being able to act it out instead of duke it out. All right, cool. I don't think this happened because Chris Evans said, I haven't gotten a call. I'm retired as any sort of captain, even if it's a variant, even if it's an evil Hydra variant.
No.
So
He's full of it. He's full of it. He's just doing what he's supposed to do as the good Marvel soldier that he is, and he's not giving.
I mean, just like in this Brave New World we're going to be a part of for the next few years, he's just following orders. Anyway, sorry, too easy of a joke. Next up, Ben Stiller has been cast in HBO's new music industry focused dramedy, The Band. Thoughts?
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it. Cool. Also, I think that following orders joke was brilliant. I don't care what anybody says. Anyway, but that's it for quick hits. Apologies, we have to turn off the very fun music, the Bossa Nova elevator music. Sorry. But that's okay. Next up, we're going to be getting into Movie of the Week. We're going to be talking about Love Hurts first. The lovely Liz, why don't you go first? Ladies first. It's all about love. It's all about being chivalrous. So you go first. And plus, I've technically already talked about the movie on my channel. So
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of disappointing, really. It wasn't as laugh out loud funny as I thought it would be. Really wasn't even as action packed as I thought it would be. It was kind of mid. Like, I left and I was like, it's kind of mid. It was okay. You pretty much get the storyline in the trailer. Ke Huy Quan used to work for his brother in some kind of organized crime related fashion. Adriana, I forget her last name, was the accountant for this mafioso type
DeBose,
group.
I think it
The
is.
what?
Adriana DeBose, I think her name
Yes,
was.
thank you. And for some reason, Keihue was ordered to kill her. He didn't kill her, let her go. Then he moved on with his life, and she came back, and chaos ensued. So it was aight. I really liked Marshawn Lynch, but you know, it was okay. It was mid
Here's
for
the
me.
thing with Love Hurts. I wasn't expecting anything because here's the thing. I was initially excited for it, and then they were like, and then like all these bad reviews started coming out, even though the audience score is pretty good. Like tons of horrendous reviews. I'm like, oh, so this movie's gonna be fucking dog shit then.
The writing
Okay.
wasn't great.
So then I expected like the worst thing ever, and I got him like, all right, that was fine. Like I thought it was pretty good. Like I thought it was like fine. I thought, I thought Kehu Kwan was great as always. Like I thought he did, a really, really good job in the role, like, like usual. I mean, there's a reason that he has an Oscar now. I thought Ariana DeBose, I think her name is. I
Yes,
thought she
I'm
was
sorry,
pretty good in
Ariana.
this.
Yeah.
I don't really. I apparently she was in Craven. I fucking totally forgot she
Yeah.
was Calypso. Didn't
Yeah.
realize that until like I was looking her up. But yeah, I thought she was good. I liked the supporting cast. I thought Mustafa Shakir was pretty funny. I liked, Marshawn. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Lynch.
Yep.
Fucking Discount Aubrey Plaza. I don't know who that chick's name is, but the chick who looks like his like assistant or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
The chick from Crazy Stupid Love. I don't know the actress's name, but
Okay.
her. I thought she was funny. And
Yeah.
Sean Astin's always great, even though he got a brutal fucking death.
I
for
was really
no
surprised by
reason.
that.
I
Yeah.
was like, damn. All
Yeah, it was
right.
good to
Okay.
see him and then sad face.
But I thought the fight scenes were really good. It was like 83 minutes, so it felt like an 83-minute movie, and it was engaging. I thought the comedy was pretty good. I thought it was perfectly fine. Like it's not the greatest thing ever. If you want like a short movie, if you're like, I got an extra $10 on me, let me go to the movies, and you want to just spend
it's a
like,
good streamer. Yeah.
or like like streamer or anything like that. So yeah, like if you want to check this out, you can. I enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed it more than the critics did, about the same as like the audience score. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. But yeah, it is a little bit disappointing that it didn't get as much love as it should have, pun intended.
Right.
And we have Steven Spielberg to blame. So fuck you, Steven Spielberg. Just kidding. But yeah, Love Hurts a little disappointing. Not the greatest thing ever. If I would say in terms of like a movie like this, I would say wait until Nobody 2, because that's probably going to be really good.
Yeah.
Because the first Nobody was fantastic with Bob Odenkirk. That was so good because everyone was like, oh, it's just going to be John Wick again. But it's like, it's not. It's its own movie, and it feels like its own movie. And that's, if you want to watch the better version of this movie, just watch Nobody. And then Nobody 2 is coming out later this year. So watch that instead. Maybe wait till streaming. Maybe like if you're really bored, you have Regal Unlimited, AMC Stubs A-List, and you're like, I want to fill my quota of now 4 movies. Throw this one in there maybe, but that's kind of all it is at this point, which is unfortunate, but I still enjoyed it for what it was. I was like, I'm not paying to see this. I'm going to go watch it. And I had fun with it. So that's cool in my book. But yeah. On to Hard Eyes. Yeah, this was definitely better. I will go first with this. It's okay. I will say this in regards to Hard Eyes. It's not amazing. Like similar to Love Hurts. It's not the greatest thing ever, but I will say it's better than Love Hurts. I think it stands a little bit on its own 2 legs, a little bit more so. I I think I think the overall like vibe it gives off, I think is better. I think the kills were great. I like the look of the killer. I like Olivia Hoult and um Mason Gooding. I thought both of them did a good job, and we got Devin Sawa here, who just can't seem to avoid getting absolutely wrecked in every movie he's in. I swear to God, I've seen this guy.
He was funny
die more
though.
than,
He was funny in this.
the Trump. I like how there's Hobbs and Shaw, like the movie, and that was good. But yeah, I thought they had decent chemistry with one another. I thought they did a very good job. I thought they worked off of each other very well.
Yeah.
As considering I don't really like Scream 5. I'm glad he was in a good slasher movie. So good for him, I guess. But yeah, I liked it. I thought, yeah, what else? Like the comedy was good, the kills were good. I feel like it took a little bit too long setting everything up, because when like the kills started to happen, it felt weird. Like I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, now we're
They just went straight
actually
into it. Yeah.
we're in the movie now. Okay, like now we're getting into it, and then I feel like it cut short almost a little bit too quickly, and then they have like the false report that he's the killer, and then they get into like the climax of the movie, and then they're like, oh no, now we got to get into the second climax, and it's like, all right, very awkward pacing, I feel
Yeah.
like. I also feel like something I don't like in modern slashers. This is just someone who has watched a lot of slasher movies. I don't like when it does two things, and this movie does both things. I don't hate them. They're more like accentuated nitpicks, but I don't like how I feel like every modern slasher has to be a horror comedy. Like Terrifier did this, Hard Eyes did this. Even Halloween 2018 had like bits of comedy in there for some reason, because David Gordon Green is a comedy director, so I guess he had to feel like he had to include comedy in there. I mean, the Scream movies were always kind of like comedic-esque, but even then, it's like I feel like the only one that doesn't do that didn't do horror comedy was like In a Violent Nature, and like everybody hated that movie, so kind of awkward, I guess. But I feel like that like they do horror comedies, way too much. And then what was the other thing? It was I don't like how they feel they have to include the killers have to be characters from the movie. Like, this is spoiler review,
yeah.
so if you don't want to hear, then I'm about to spoil the killers. But the fact that it was like the ending where it was revealed that Shaw and the IT guy were the killers, it was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I knew it was the IT guy. I knew the IT guy was involved somehow.
Yeah. But it was like,
but yeah.
why do you have this need to make it so that, oh, we have to know them? It's like, we didn't know, like the reason that so many slashers were great in like the 70s, 80s, and 90s before like Scream came out was because they either were like an urban legend, like Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees, eventually when the sequels came out. Freddy, all that, there was like an urban legend, or some of the lesser slashers, or like even Harry Warden, who was in My Bloody Valentine, which is the OG best Valentine's Day slasher. This doesn't even come close. So there's like an urban legend, or you just don't know who they are. They're just some random guy that just started killing people. That's what I like. It's one, it's scarier, and two, it's like it feels like then you don't have to do some absurd plot twist like this one does. Like, it feels like you're kind of inserting this like plot twist that needs to happen, because it felt awkward. It's like, yeah, we were just talking about that earlier. But it just felt like Christopher Landon, who wrote the movie, felt like he didn't know how to write the ending, so he's like, all right, I guess I'm gonna make it, oh, this IT guy that shows up for 2 seconds and Shaw are the killers and some random third guy because sure. And it just felt awkward. But I hate it when slashers do that. And you don't need to, I like gore, but you don't need to make it the goriest thing ever. Like
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Halloween were the OG like slasher movies, and that barely had any blood. So like, I'm just saying, not every movie has to be Terrifier.
No, I agree.
Just saying.
Yeah.
So, what are your? I kind of went on a filibuster there. What are your overall thoughts of the movie?
Well, for me, it was it's the kind of movie that I like, scary movies that I like, where it was kind of campy. There was some comical elements to it, so it wasn't like really deep, wasn't really scary. It wasn't one of those things where like, I'm like running to my car in a dark parking lot afterward. I'm not like afraid of who's behind me kind of thing. But at the same time, it was a little too cheesy for me. Like it was honestly, if a Hallmark movie, if the Hallmark Channel made a horror movie, and there was like way too much dialogue and kind of like it was genuinely like a romance movie with horrific murders. Like at the end of the film, I left and I was like, not to be really weird, but I'm like, it's the same way I feel about porn. Like there's way too much dialogue for my liking, for movies like that. But it was, again, yeah, it was entertaining. So go see
Yeah,
it.
I liked I liked it's I will say, oh my god, I hate it when like when in porn when the guy just doesn't shut the fuck up. It's like, bro, I'm not here for you. I'm here for her. So please stop grunting. And it's not even like sexy groaning. It's like grunting. It's like,
I feel
bro,
the opposite. That's funny.
Well, I mean, yeah,
But-
because we're
and
both
rightfully so.
straight.
Yeah.
We want,
Yeah.
it's like when they got to design it a little bit better. So it's like, okay, for the women, you got to have the grunts from the dude. And then, or you got to have the girl.
Oh,
mode,
Dan,
and
please.
it's
The
just like,
things y'all have said on here, I don't even want to hear it.
yeah, come on, Dan. We've talked
Calm
about
down,
follower
Dan.
shit. But yeah, it just like it reminds me of like the Joe Biden clip. Will you shut up, man? Just like, god damn, will you just shut the fuck up?
Yeah, no,
yeah,
so
that's
it was fine. Again, yeah, the pacing was kind of strange because the
Yeah.
buildup was long. Then they went right into the killing, and it was just like nonstop. And then it was kind of like a drag at the end. So, again,
Yeah,
for what it
it's
was,
just-
it was entertaining.
yeah, it was an entertaining. Like, if out of the two movies we're reviewing today, go see Hard Eyes. It's definitely way more fun, way
Yeah.
more engaging. But yeah, I enjoyed both movies. Maybe I'm just a sucker for bad movies or something. But I mean, a lot more people liked this movie over Love Hurts.
Right.
This one has like 80 to 79, while the other one had like 19 to 62.
Right.
So, if you're heading to the movies, watch this, or just wait till Captain America 4 or Paddington in Peru, because those are probably going to be way better than either of these. Or if you're, or if you want a good Valentine's Day slasher, watch the original My Bloody Valentine. Way fucking honestly, the remake is probably better than this too, and that's saying something. But yeah, watch the original My Bloody Valentine. Extremely underrated, so good. Like, in terms of holiday slashers, that's definitely one of the best ones. So yeah, go watch that instead of this. But that is it for movies of the week, whatever it is. But now we gotta get into DCU Daily. So we're gonna be but first off, thanks for watching. But we're gonna move on to DCU Daily. But Dan wants me to do this because even though it makes no sense, because you're still watching, why are we anyway? So like and subscribe, comment. Love you guys. Anyway, DC. Now we're gonna get into some DC news. First off, with some Lantern stuff. That's exciting because allegedly they just started filming or going to start filming soon. Apparently, they have found their costume designer. The Last of Us costume designer of the show, obviously, Cynthia Ann Summers, has joined the crew of HBO's Lanterns. What are your thoughts on this?
Cool.
Do you care about this at all?
No. Hope she does a good job. Great.
Yeah.
Still haven't seen Last of Us either, so
Yeah, I mean I can't because of obvious reasons, but like yeah. But this is cool.
Yeah.
Um I don't know how it's gonna translate exactly because it's like they just wore in Last of Us, they just wore raggedy clothing. So I don't know how
Right.
that's gonna translate to maybe she's done other stuff. I don't know. I mean we could take a look at her IMDb. I mean she did do series of unfortunate events, Snowpiercer, the TV series, Swan Song, Babysitter's Club, a lot of stuff that I wouldn't imagine that like superhero stuff would be, but you know what? Let's hope let's hope she does a good job.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, so then apparently John Pino is going to be the production designer, and he's also worked on Last of Us. Yeah, cool thoughts.
Again, haven't seen it, heard it's great. One of these days I'll get to it. Good for them.
But yeah, he's worked on other movies and shows like Big Little Lies and Wild and Kill the Messenger, recently presumed innocent. Um, Good for this guy. Anyway, Nicholas Hoult now. Nicholas Hoult on why he feels Lex Luthor is right about the threat of Superman. If someone had ultimate power and the ability to do anything, then what happens when what he does doesn't align with everyone's belief of what is right? Yeah, I think that's
Then you get the
definitely an
boys.
interesting. Yeah. But well, yeah. Well, if you either get the boys or you get in terms of the intelligent version of the boys, written by someone who has more than 3 brain cells, then you get like something like Watchmen.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But yeah, I mean that's always like no matter what Lex Luthor's like motivation is, it's always like he's the guy that had the ultimate power. He was, depending on what it was. Like in the Golden Age, he was like a mad scientist. In the Silver Age, he was, he stole 40 cakes and that was terrible. But then in the Bronze Age and mainly the modern age when post crisis came in, they modeled him after who, and they made him like this evil corporate billionaire in the John Byrne run, and that's what like really kickstarted this modern portrayal. Is like he was the guy that had everything. He did have ultimate power. He did have like all the money in the world, all the power in the world, but then this guy comes in, no, he has the ultimate power and he's not doing anything except like helping people and want to do good. That's weird. That's what the fuck is this? Like, I don't like this guy. And no way that he can be all good because I'm evil and I have all the money and power. No way this guy can be good. So I like how, there is the understanding of the character. Even though I'm still not excited to see Lex Luthor yet again, since like 90% of other Superman movies have had him as the villain, and it's just like tiring, even though he has a whole rogues gallery, guys, but whatever. I still think it's nice that Nicholas Hoult definitely understands what makes this character really interesting and what makes the character such a great adversary for Superman. So yeah.
Can you just quickly, John, in the chat, they're still going off on your Last of Us comment. Can you explain to the team here why you don't want to watch that show? Because they're speculating, and I think for the wrong reasons.
I don't want to watch The Last of Us because I know how terrible the second game is. I watched like a playthrough of it. I haven't played it, but I did fucking witness it because I watched a playthrough of both games. I was like, all right, I'm curious about this one, and I've heard how bad it is. So then I'm like, yeah, that's pretty terrible, just story wise. Somebody claimed I was homophobic for some reason. It's like I don't give a fucking shit what you stick your dick into, like. But yeah, that's the main reason. So I know how bad Last of Us Part 2 is, and so I don't want to watch a show, get invested, and then like
be disappointed.
Know how bad that the source material for the next 2 seasons, allegedly 2 seasons, are going to be. So I'm like, no,
That's
I'm
fair.
not doing that.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I just
so
didn't want people walking away with the wrong impression. So
yeah, no,
thank
I
you.
just don't like the story. I don't like how they handled it. I don't like how people are getting fucking death threats over it. That's the only person that deserves death threats is Neil Druckmann, because fuck that guy. But I don't think like Caitlin Deaver or anybody like that deserves anything like that. So yeah, I think I just don't want to get invested and then be like, all right, now I have to watch this fucking show go down the shitter like immediately. But in terms of this, I like how Nicholas Hoult understands the character, and that's pretty cool, my guy. We appreciate you. We love you. I mean, look at this. Look how fucking pissed off this man is about how much he fucking hates Superman. Like, he's so pissed he's crying. Like, fucking angry as fuck. Love it. He was like, yeah, and XPs definitely nailed it. Yeah, this is gonna be a good movie. But in terms of going from one Superman to another, Tom Welling says that Henry Cavill couldn't attend the Superman review because he's currently filming Voltron in Australia. So apparently they had a Superman reunion with Tyler Hoechlin, Dean Cain, Brandon Routh. I think Tim Daly was there as well. And all of them were there. And, but, Henry Cavill's a busy dude. He's doing Voltron. He's doing Highlander. He's doing, I don't know, Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare 2. I don't know. But, like, whatever he has, like, he's not doing The Witcher. We know that. But he's a busy boy. But yeah, it was cool that they did that. And I'm sure next time they'll get him. Because, I love how Tom Welling, you can see even in the graphic, like, people are asking, where the fuck is this dude? And he's like, he's filming in Australia. Please, for the love of God, don't get mad. Because we know who would get mad. So, yes. Henry Cavill, we love you. Can't wait to see you in all your upcoming projects. Let's hope they actually are good and don't bomb immediately. So, yeah. And... Dan and I were talking about this yesterday, going, I never, again, from back to the original Superman we were talking about. Yeah. This was on the crypto toy packaging. He looks great.
Yeah, they're making him, he looks very Christopher Reevesy there.
That's exactly what I said yesterday. Looks super Christopher Reeve. Ron saying, I want Voltron. I'm going to pay attention to the chat a bit because I feel like I haven't paying attention to you guys. But yeah. I agree with John F. Truckman and F. Jeff Schneider. Thank you. I also appreciated what you were saying about. I did grab your comment before. Oh, Dan deleted it. But he was saying. But Jose was saying like, all news is now coming from Jeff Snyder. It's like, all right. I thought that was funny. Yeah, and then wait. I had to fast forward the explicit sweaty dude scene, but the love story was great, one of the best.
Oh, they're talking about Last of Us.
Oh, yes. Okay. But yeah, oh yeah, I've heard that episode was really good. Yeah, I just hope Enterprising saying I hope Cavill finds success and he needs a winning franchise.
Yeah.
Caleb saying, look at his eyes! His eyes! Like people going fucking mad over that's the thing. It's like, and now it's first it's height, now it's eyes. Things people can't control. Like, all right. The eyes look perfect. Super, like now everyone's going off on the eyes. But yeah. And then Caleb Underwood saying put hashtag restore the Snyderverse on Lex Luthor's forehead. That's good. But yeah, this looks very Christopher Reeve-esque. I like it a lot. And the suit looks good. I like how they do accentuate the colors here. Very red, very blue, very yellow. But his face, I'm sure they photoshopped it a little bit to make him look like, that jawline, the eyes. No, they definitely did that. But he still looks great, and I'm stoked for it.
Yeah.
So, but James Gunn, Jennifer Holland, can you please take this man's phone away? Please, for the love of God. Just like put a parental lock on his phone and his computer. Just stop him for like at least a week. Be like, James, you need sleep. But anyway,
Yeah.
he's responded to a DC fan who asked him which DC era he wants to focus on for the new DCU. One of the fun things about creating the DCU is taking elements from all different eras of DC Comics, just perpetuating what he has said before. He wants to, like he said, he's like, we're going from Golden Age to Zack Snyder. He even mentioned it, Zack Snyder. So, but he's saying like we're getting everything in there. Even though you're not as aware of like DC Comics and like that history, does that make you excited that we're putting everything in there, like everything like that?
I like that
I
like that he's considering everything. I like that nothing is off the table, and he's willing to take from different eras, different elements, because he sounds like he's all invested, and if you are going to be all invested, it should be all encompassing. So I think that it makes a lot of sense what he has to say about that.
I agree. Like I love how he's taking everything from like all sorts of like history and you know just really grabbing all bits of what worked, what didn't, and like putting, because some things like are flawed that it's like, you know what, we got to have these integral parts of the character even if maybe they didn't work, but maybe we'll make them work, or we add those flaws to make it a little bit, maybe not the most perfect thing ever, so we'll you know iron everything out and make it worthwhile to watch. But now we're going to get into some of the bigger stories in regards to, you know, we got a closer look at the Guy Gardner ring, at the god awful fucking, fucking Super Bowl ad we got the other day.
Yeah.
But now we got a more of an HD look, and this looks about, similar to the Ryan Reynolds looking ring, where it's like, it's not like a circle with the insignia on it, but it's like the entire thing is the lantern logo. Yeah. So that's cool. I definitely like to see that, because well, I mean the ones I have, I would have to get them out real quick. But yeah, I'm gonna get out my rings. Well, the one ring to rule them all. But yeah, there it is. I can only fit it on my pinky. Yeah, so it doesn't look like this necessarily, right, where it's like the green like that, but it looks like the entire thing is like, looks like a lantern. And I think I like that design. I think that works for like a, kind of live action thing you're going on. So yeah, because I would imagine that they don't want to make it look like an actual like toy, so that it's like, oh, that looks fucking stupid and fake and all that shit. So I understand that, but I know you don't care, but I'll ask, what are your thoughts on this?
No, I mean, yeah, it looks fine to me, so makes sense that they would. I'm
curious if I'm curious if like each Green Lantern will have like a different type of ring. I think that would be kind of cool. Like,
yeah, that would be
each one is like representative of their personality. So, yeah. So as he said, also it should be noted, classic GL logo, no dramatic changes. Boom. There we go. Perfect. Plus you can now clearly see the Lord Tech logo on Guy Gardner's chest. It's not his. Yes, we were already saying this the other day, but yeah, he does have the Maxwell Lord insignia on his chest. And I like how they don't even try to like make him look like he has like abs. You could see a little bit of Nathan Fillion's pludge right here, and like, he's not exactly the best in shape, but like that shouldn't matter, right? But I love the wig. I like how they, even though they fucking dropped the ball on the Super Bowl Puppy Bowl ad, I love how they're just like, no, we're going in on the bowl cut. We're going fucking in on that. No, I dig it.
I dig the look. I really do.
Love it.
I think it's great.
But yeah, going from one DC universe to another, apparently Andy Serkis says Matt Reeves told him the story of the Batman 2. Okay. I am so hungry for it, as all as you are. He told me the story of the Batman 2, and I was so excited for it. Does this make you mad? Does this make you happy? Does this make you just give us the fucking movie already? Or
No, it makes me happy. Like I'm glad that it from what Andy's saying, it sounds like we're gonna be getting something good. Yes, it's disappointing that it's still gonna be quite some time until we see it. But if it's good, who gives a shit? At the end of the day, we're all gonna forget about that. So it'll be I'm just looking forward to it. I liked the first one so much that I can't wait for the second one.
the Batman kind of gives, or the Penguin kind of gives me hope that maybe this will be better than the first movie. But yeah, I think I'm relatively excited for it whenever it does come out. I just hope it'll be better than the first, because I liked the first at first, but it kind of got worse for me as time went on, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, I do very much hope that whenever it comes out, whether it's 2027 or 2078,
2078. Yeah.
I think that's great. Like, I feel like this is definitely a let's try to get more and more people excited. I mean, they dropped the ball with the Superman thing, so let's try to get people excited for the other thing that people are excited is Batman. Let's go, Batman, Batman Part 2, because God knows Andy Muschietti refuses to shut the fuck up. So, and God knows what type of quality movie we're getting there. Probably not a good one. So it's like, oh, let's focus on the thing that, like, oh, we've got an established universe right here, so let's do that. But yeah, Andy Serkis. I think he was a good Alfred. I don't. I still have a hard time believing him. Like, he would have been so much.
I barely remember him as Alfred, so hopefully he gets a kind of a bigger role the next time around. But
yeah, I think he would have been better as the Penguin.
Hey,
in my opinion,
we'll never know.
But who would have knows if he would have got a Golden Globe? So here we are. But now we're going in the last of the Elseworld franchises, I guess. We have Grant Gustin. He has said that he's open to doing a mini sequel series for The Flash. There's a lot of things that I have to ask, not for, but about. I'd be more interested in the creative side. Now, in terms of that, I think that would be amazing, because the man did not get his due as the Flash. Like, that show, once it hit season 2, it just became fucking dog shit. Was it got a season and a half, and then once they revealed that Hunter Zolomon was Zoom, it just crashed and burned and never really let up. It did have some bright spots in season 3 and 4 and 5, but after that, it just I feel and then once COVID hit, it just immediately got even fucking worse. It stopped being a Flash show. It was the Friends of the Flash. That's what it became. Fucking, why was Cecilia part? Why do we fucking give a shit about this fucking character? It's we care. So I would love to see a not necessarily as the DCU Flash and not necessarily as the Arrowverse Flash. I'd like to see him come back as sort of an Elseworld Flash, maybe in a movie, maybe in a TV movie, maybe in a mini series. I don't know, but I think Grant Gustin was so great as this character that we need to see him in something where you have people that know the character, that want to write for this character, that know the Flash, that know make it work. And I feel he just got the short end of the stick, and it's a shame, because he deserves so much better. Both Flashes of TV, John Wesley Shipp, poor guy didn't get past one season.
Yeah, for sure. So hopefully this will lead to good things, to bigger things for them.
Yeah. The Enterprising, I stopped watching after the Thinker arc. Fair. Hosea, I like bad TV. I watched 2 seasons of Titans. So did I. And then I quit when I'm why? Okay, Grant Gustin should be done, and the new Flash actor should be Wally West. Something new. I'm not saying he should be part of the DCU or anything like that. I don't think that should be the case, but I think he deserves another shot, maybe in like a TV movie, just like as a separate thing. It's years later, just like a sort of like a better, and like, 'cause I heard what happened in the series finale. I'm like, wow, that is fucking dog shit. Like, I think Cecilia got fucking yeeted reverse flash. It's like, what are you doing? Stop. This is terrible. Yeah, I think like maybe not Stephen Amell, but I think both Grant Gustin and Melissa Benoist deserve like maybe like a small mini series separate from canon to just have them be the characters that they actually were rather than the bullshit that the writers came up with. Because I
Yeah.
feel like hell, fucking throw Wallace Day as Batwoman in there. Like fucking fuck both Ruby Rose and the other chick. I think Wallace Day should have been Batwoman from the beginning. She would have been perfect, but nope, they don't like that. This is why we can't have good things. So it's a shame, but I want to see Wally West as the main Flash of the DCU, and I want to see, I want like that's what I want to continue for that. This give him like a side thing. Like, all right, here's something better so we have like something to like remember you more fondly rather than the garbage like 7 seasons of television that you needed to do.
Yeah.
There's a wheelchair fight. That must have been after I quit after like maybe like I finished the majority of season 2. I finished season 2 where Wonder Girl gets killed by lightning because that makes sense. That's like Superman getting killed by yellow sunlight. It's like what? Yeah, yeah, that's what I was saying. Same with Arrow. Supergirl got too out of hand. That's the sad part. Yeah, Tyler Hoechlin did with Superman, like essentially, yeah, like something like that. Just exactly. That's because like Superman and Lois, they're like, this is not going to be burdened by the shittiness of the Arrowverse. It's going to be its own thing, and that's what it was. We got 4 seasons of amazing television, one of the best DC shows of all time. All 4 seasons were excellent. So do something like that for Grant Gustin. I mean, I think he should move on to bigger and better things. I think maybe come back, maybe someone like else, but maybe have him play like, the father figure. Like maybe he like similar with John Wesley Shipp, he should become Jay Garrick, or like Grant Gustin plays like his father in prison. Like, okay, maybe I could see the word, but I would like to see like fully like Grant Gustin move on from this, like, and then like maybe 10 years down the line, he gets like an old man Flash kind of story. I think that could be interesting. I wonder if Matt Reeves will tell us the story of the Batman 2. No, just Andy Serkis.
Eventually.
Just Andy Serkis. That's it. Are they gonna blow him up again after yet another argument with overtly emo Bruce? Pass. All right, that's kind of funny. But yeah, that's that's it for Grant Gustin and DCU News or DCU Daily, whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
and the wheelchair one. That's funny. God, these shows are fucking terrible. God, you can't make this shit up. But that's not totally it, guys. We're gonna be talking about some going to be talking about what we are going to be getting next, and what we're going to be getting next is obvious. Why wasn't Grant considered for Reed Richards? Why the fuck would he be? No, get the fuck out of here. Anyway, so we're looking ahead to Captain America: Brave New World. We're going to be getting, not the greatest thing ever, but we're going to be getting something, right? I know I'm not going to see this movie, so reiterate thoughts you've said before about excitement levels?
I'll be seeing it Friday. Saturday. I'm looking forward to it opening up the next wave of MCU projects. So I've got a very strong feeling that it is going to, at the very least, connect Thunderbolts, if not connect Fantastic Four. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I don't think it's going to be great. I am looking forward to Red Hulk. I'm looking forward to that action sequence with Anthony and Red Hulk, but from the little bits and pieces that I've seen so far, it's mid. It reminds me of early days Marvel with, kind of the lame jokes, and the pacing doesn't look all that great either. But we'll see what happens. I've been pleasantly surprised in the past. Hopefully that's the case here. Again, I love me some Marvel, so I'm going to see it. I'm going to support. I'm very excited for Anthony Mackie and this new endeavor, but hopefully they can give him something with a little, I don't know. Maybe they just didn't advertise it right. I think the marketing they were really slow with this time around, and now they're just kind of trying to shove everything down our throats. And it's like, babe, where were you months ago? But I'm gonna see it. I'm sure I'll like it to a degree, but again, I don't have the highest of expectations for it.
Yeah. I mean, even ignoring all the fake stuff, I think it just looks kind of generic to me. It looks kind of bland. I mean, it has a great popcorn bucket. I might get that.
I'm getting the popcorn bucket.
Yeah. But apparently by the way, I wanted to mention that the embargo does lift today. Well, I believe it's going to lift soon, because it lifts 9 p.m. Pacific today. But for us, that is midnight.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And then 9 a.m. Pacific, aka noon, tomorrow, like reviews are going to start coming in. So that's when all this, fuck off, Rotten Tomatoes. Like, so that's when it's like gonna fill up.
Yeah.
I've enabled ads, you asshole. Like, Jesus Christ. Anyway. And now it cut off. Anyway. But Brave New Worlds, a lot of people are, excited for it. I'm not, but like I don't want to yuck anybody's yum. Like, I'm sure a lot of people like it. It'll make all its money. It'll be cool.
Well, as I said to you in the chat, talking to my friends at the movie theater, they said every time a customer walks by the poster, they make a comment about it. So they're still going to get butts in seats. They're Marvel. That's what they do. So again, they're going to have a decent opening weekend. They're going to have a decent numbers worldwide. So regardless,
it doesn't have a ton.
They're going to do what they do.
It just doesn't have a ton of competition. I mean, Paddington, but like I don't know how that's going to be. It could be Paddington.
It's a family movie, so we know Paddington's going to. If anything, they might be neck and neck. I mean, Paddington is gonna. Everyone's excited for Paddington. It's a family movie. We know those do very, very well.
And it's a threequel, so we know of it, and then so that helps too. So and Paddington 2 is apparently the greatest movie ever made, according to Pedro Pascal.
It's just adorable.
Unbearable weight of massive talent.
Adorable. So. It's wonderful.
So, but then speaking of Paddington in Peru is the next movie we're going to be, talking about it. Like, I've seen so many previews for this. It just looks cute as hell. Like, it's an ongoing reminder I need to watch these movies. Because
I used to watch Paddington. I watched the old school, the stop action that looked like it was like ripped from the actual page of the storybook.
Yes,
I have all of those on DVD. Yeah, I've seen the other cartoons. I've seen the other iterations. But I don't know that we've ever gone back to Peru. So that's like the most that I'm excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, wait a minute. Like, we've never explored this part of the the story before. We always hear about deepest, darkest Peru.
Figure Drawing is upset that I haven't seen these movies. And apparently, according to Hosea, reviewers are watching it now as we speak. Okay.
Yeah. Good for them. I'm jealous. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. I'm more excited for this than Captain America.
Paddington is the modern Godfather trilogy. Well, if the third movie's good, then it'll be better than the Godfather trilogy.
That's right. That's right.
But we sew back.
And it's good to see Antonio Banderas again after that horrific baby girl, what they did to him, poor man. So yay, Antonio
How dare you
Banderas.
stand where he stood? Like now he's, and God, yeah, and plus, I mean, you have Julie Walters, Emily Mortimer, Olivia Colman. Like you have like so many like great great British character actors that you wouldn't like know, but you're like the guy from Downton Abbey or like the chick who won an Oscar fucking 5 or 6 years, like that kind of thing. Like, and then oh my god, Emily Mortimer for this thing. So it's like I know that face, but I don't know their name. But like that's like all these kind of movies. And then you got Q as Paddington, gay Paddington. It's official. But yeah, I'm excited for this. Okay, this one says continue without disabling, but it's already been getting really good reviews. It has a 93, even though Rotten Tomatoes is dog shit. But I'm still excited for it. I gotta watch the first 2 movies. I'm going to watch the first 2 movies. All right,
they're delightful, John. I'm like excited for you.
Y'all can fucking calm down. Goddamn. But yeah, that's
we're just Paddington stands. That's all.
Yeah, I know. I'm just I am like I want to give support because like Paddington, it's from what I've heard, it's goated. So like, hell yeah! Like I've heard like the first one's very good, but the second one is like amazing. Like it's like Paddington 2 is like the greatest fucking thing ever. So like, Caleb was saying the Rootles is better than the Beatles. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Ray J, I've never heard of Paddington. Are you fucking living under a rock? Enterprising saying, I like Paddington, might see it in theaters if I can afford to. Stephen Ortega, I'm going to miss Liz and John and Dan. Well, all 3 of us are going to be back next week, and me and Dan are going to be doing this tomorrow. So, like, you're not going to have to wait long.
Come on back.
What do you mean, Liz? I meant when you end the show. What are you talking about? Anyway,
because I didn't know what he meant by it's all good.
Okay. Do you know the Paddington bear doll is around 40 UK pounds, which is US $50? I'd pay for it. I'd pay for one if I didn't already have one. I don't know where.
Yeah, I already have one too.
I think it might be in my sister's room. I gotta go grab it when we review it. I'm gonna go grab it, and we're gonna be talking about that.
You know what? They might release them in theaters. They might get a little stuffed Paddingtons in our movie
That would
theaters.
Be a good.
That would be nice.
You get it with your popcorn bucket. They don't have an official Paddington. You just get one. You're just like, here's a bucket of popcorn, and here's a Paddington doll.
I wonder if they're gonna have like marmalade Sprite or something, because they always have these special flavors for movies.
Just drink Fanta. Like
you would understand. You need to watch Paddington. Well, no, you know Paddington.
Well, I know Paddington. I just haven't seen. I watched the show. I read the books.
Yeah.
I just haven't seen the movies. I know the marmalade sandwiches. Don't talk to me like I don't know Paddington.
I know. I'm sorry. I corrected myself.
But that's it for tonight, guys. Sorry, it's a relatively quick show. Dan wasn't here, so went through this quick. So thank you all for watching. We got to go through. Man of Steel Magnolia is saying he loves Sprite. Ron apparently is from Canada, because he says in Maple Leaf Land we have strawberries. So you might have mentioned that, Ron. I might have forgotten. I apologize, but nice. Never heard of the Rootles, John. Okay, what am I missing here?
Yeah, I don't know what the Rootles is either, to be honest. Are we gonna have to Google this? I know what the Wiggles are, Caleb.
It's a parody rock band that was like Eric Idle, and like I think it was.
Oh, okay.
It was like a comedy series back in like the 70s.
Caleb, calm down with the Rootles.
Enterprising. I'd rather find a Build-A-Bear shop somewhere and make a cheap knockoff. Build-A-Bear ain't cheap. Build-A-Bear ain't fucking cheap. What are you talking about?
I don't know what Build-A-Bear you're going
probably
to.
Like $100. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, bro. Bring a coupon. What are you talking about?
But Ron, Enterprising, Caleb, Man of Steel Magnolia, Stephen Ortega, Ray J, Figure Drawing, Hosea, Thrawn Kill. You guys have all been wonderful. If I missed anybody, I do apologize, but it was like around those people. And then Dan was also commenting in the chat. Oh, Kevin Davis, he left a comment. But that's about it. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Hunter Iggy did say, what's up, everyone? And Kyle Keiswetter. Yes, I remember you in the beginning. Man, still Magnolias. Hey Ron, love Canada. Sorry, president sucks. I got the bootleg hookup. Don't worry. Oh, excuse me, enterprising. Excuse me. But that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. We appreciate all of you. Make sure to like. We got 12 likes and 18 people watching. Come on, 6 likes, 6 more likes. Let's go. Make sure to comment. We're gonna try and do fan comments tomorrow. We're gonna try and stick that with like DCU Daily, so it's like not as much. But comment and subscribe and hit the notification bell. I'm not pressing the thing. Dan isn't here, so he can't press it. So I'm not pressing it either because it's a stupid clip. But subscribe, comment, do all the things. We love and appreciate all of you. We're going to be back tomorrow. Liz is going to be joining us next week. She has a very busy schedule ahead of her this week.
Certainly do.
I'm sorry, Liz, but we're going to be seeing her next week. It's going to be fun. And hopefully it's for multiple times in the week. But you know, until then, you're stuck with Dan and I, which sorry, but you're going to be getting us for the rest of the week.
You guys will be fine. You'll be fine.
We'll be fine. But until then, we'll see you all later. Thank you for watching. We love and appreciate all of you.
Bye-bye.